Hey everybody, this is Strategic Command World at War Total Realism Project TRP version 0816 Lothos versus Machiafish. I am Lothos. I am playing the Axis. Normally I would say this is our final episode. This is episode 150. And the turn doesn't matter. He resigned. He just told me that he was going to resign after the last turn. I kind of expected it after seeing what was going on. We're halfway through the summer. He's not really making much headway, and his losses far exceed mine. There was just no way he was ever gonna turn that hoop. It was just bleeding him to death. So let's take a look to see what's going on. What was the final layout of the map? He said he was thinking about attacking me all along the front, but I don't think he did at the end. So I think he just decided to resign because we do have another game already started where we've flipped our sides. So just in case he did do anything, let's see the replay, just in case. So we do have another game going on, so hopefully by the time you see this episode, the new game, I will start posting the new game up the very next day. So it's March right now, and I have enough video that this should be taken all the way up until, I think, May or June by the time. So we've got a lot of time before the last episode of this game will show up live on YouTube. Wow, look at all those planes. Oh my god. My 4 fighters were just holding all that off. I guess he just did that one mission and then that was it. But yeah, I mean, he didn't even have naval advantage. It was going to be literally impossible. It was impossible for him to ever do anything in the Pacific, not at least within the time frame of this game, and be able to do everything in Europe. There's not enough MPP for him to do it all. And there was a good chance that Moscow would have fallen. Yeah, the MPPs, as you can see, he still had an advantage, but he was just losing too much. So he had nothing down here. This was all about to collapse, and I cut that railroad off. And just like I thought, that the Russians didn't really have much behind. And his bomber here, he used it for a few times and just never been able to repair it back up. That's the problem. If you use the Air Force too early as the Russians, you bleed yourself to death. So his lines were starting to thin out. Just like basically, remember my plan was to just keep killing stuff so that he runs out of units, and his line was thinning out. What did production look like? Oh, actually, UK, just the garrison. I feel the UK was putting everything into repairs and stuff. The US, a lot of subs. That is one thing I would have done, though, if I had been him, is I would have probably attacked something with the Chinese. Somewhere, just try to mass And you'll suffer mass casualties, but just so that you can get that initial break to start moving the line a bit. Because he's got so many troops. Just curious on the Pacific. Well, let's look at India. He was getting on his last legs. I was breaking. He had nothing back here to stop me. I was putting so much pressure on him. I'm thinking that the British were spending all their MPP constantly reinforcing. Glad I didn't do that invasion, though. I was thinking of coming all the way around and invading there, but he's protecting it. And those were the last... Oh, got one down here. I missed that one. Sneaky. Now he does have quite a bit of the U.S. ships here. But they took a hit. And look at that. I was all worried about him having ships here, and he had none. He did a good job of faking me out, that's for sure. Remember, I kept bringing my ships and thinking, oh, I'm going to come over here and try to sink some more of his ships and stuff, and he pulled them all out. The last of his fleet is right here. There it is. Oh, let's see, where is his research at? Let's take a look. So anti-tank, he's at 3, and he wasn't even researching it. He did get it, advanced fighters 4. So he was at 4, just like me. So was the U.S. But he stopped on the tanks. He stopped at 3. Hmm. No, his research seems to be fine. At least for the Russians. In the sense that he focused on the right things. He just couldn't recover. Did have a lot of troops down here, though. That's why I shifted down here. Just bleed him down. With him pulling back from Colin, that was going to open up as a new supply point. Major supply point. So I can push. Up. All right, folks. I think that's kind of it for recon. I don't need to see all of my stuff because you've seen me play over and over again, so I was just curious on his layout. I actually have him outnumbered over here. So he was slowly falling apart down here too. Breaking him down. It was a good game, folks. That was actually a very good game. A lot of bugs, fixes, small adjustments for balance reasons have been made. Again, this is version 8.16. I'm already up to version 8.18, and then I already started working on a version 19. Somebody had found a bug with coastal guns, which I actually just show here. So no unit has more than one de-entrench, but if you look at the coastal guns, they're up to 3 de-entrenchment, and then they get a plus in demoralization protect. This is the infantry tack. They weren't supposed to be getting that. It's supposed to be just defensive improvements. So that bug is fixed. That'll be in version TRP 8.19 or greater, obviously. So, all right, folks, let's end it. And it was a great game. That was definitely a great game. He's got a motorized. Division, Marines, mechanized, Marine. He's just pretty much ignoring me down here. But I understand. He doesn't. He's just no ships. All right, let's end it. And hope everybody enjoyed this game. And until the next one.